Sure, sir. So now I will be honored to call out our chief guest, Shri Pratap Chandra Sadali, Honorable Minister, Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Feeds, and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Please address the crowd.
ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्रः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः प्रविशेम देवहितं यदायुः ओम शांति शांति शांति. Respected President Mrs. Kulkarni ji, respected Vice Chancellor of Sri Sri University Sri Ajay Singh ji, respected Associate Professor Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Mahanti ji, and Renita Sinha, I do not know all others, and all the dignitaries and experts, students, professors who are present in this virtual platform. I congratulate you all. I offer you my heartfelt thanks for having invited me, especially to Sri Sri University and Srinovation and SSU Innovation, particularly to Vijay Didi. In English there is a saying that man proposes, God disposes. We may think many things, we may propose many things, but finally it depends upon the God to deliver. Earlier it was decided that I should be part of the inaugural session, but my group of ministers meeting extended to 7th also. So you decided to readjust me in the valedictory. I offer my special thanks to you all for that. Sri Sri University is a unique university, and its founder Sri Sri Ravi Shankar is a spiritual giant in the spiritual history of humanity, and it reminds us of the ancient universities of our country like Nalanda, Takshashila, and our forest universities run by our ancient rishis, which had both secular and spiritual knowledge imparted, because they were having Vedanta, Darshana, Vigyan, and also cottage industries, agriculture, dairy, all knowledge, so that a student coming out of those universities never runs for job, never cries for job, never starve. So Sri Sri University is also a hub of innovation. So that's why we are all very much thankful to this university. Vijaya Didi exaggerated me many things about me, so you should not take it as true. Sometimes out of love we exaggerate our near and dear ones. But due to this global pandemic, Corona, the entire world economy has been completely disturbed, and the socio-economic life of humans has been totally destroyed the world over. India cannot be an exception to this. Our economic structure was disturbed, our MSMEs were disturbed, our rural and urban life was disturbed, our supply chain was completely broken, and our production, consumption, everything were disturbed. The poor, the rural and urban poor lost their jobs. Health services were partially disturbed. On the plea of this COVID-19 also, general health services were totally disturbed. Many people died, many people starved, and many people suffered different maladies. The only point of hope is that our country was run by an able champion like Narendra Modi, who infused strength, conviction, confidence among the people. First he told, Jaan hai to jahan hai. First life, then livelihood. Secondly, he emphasized on Jaan bhi and Jahan bhi, because Corona will continue, it was evident. So both is to be given importance. Then he gave a slogan of Jan se Jag tak. We should march from individual to the society to the world. Now this 5 months lockdown created many problems and also many opportunities. There is nothing which is problem only. This corona also gave us many opportunities. We could live without our imported articles. So the natural slogan came out of our Pradhan Mantri is Atmanirbhar Bharat. What is meant by Atmanirbhar Bharat? From morning to night when we go to bed, we use things mostly of foreign origin. Our blades, our toothpaste, our toothbrush, our soaps, our gels, our cosmetics, our boots, our dresses, many things are of foreign origin. This is not the sign of a developed country. I remember one incident when Swami Vivekananda and Jamsetji were traveling in the same ship. They were talking with each other because they traveled months together. What is the purpose of your visit? Now Jamsetji told that I am going for trading, purchasing steel articles from foreign countries and selling it in Indian market. Then Swamiji told, why on your education? Jamsetji told, why? Because you may be rich, but your country cannot prosper. A nation which sends raw materials to foreign countries and purchases foreign goods is a baby in the field of industry. By the time we are sending iron ore, manganese and purchased steel materials, and we have sea, ocean on three sides of our country, but we were purchasing salt from Liverpool, and our kisans were cultivating this cotton and sending it to Manchester, and we were purchasing cloths from Manchester. That was the tragedy of our nation. So Swamiji told that you cannot be rich. Then Tata asked, what to do? Jamsetji asked, you should dig your mines, cross your mountains, dry the ocean, create enough employment opportunity, have your own research and innovation wing. You should feed your people. So long as millions live in hunger and poverty, I hold every nation. I hold so long as millions live in hunger and poverty, I hold everybody a traitor who, having been educated at their expense, pays the least heed to them. That was the warning given to politicians, especially by Swami Vivekananda. So Narendra Modi's call for Atmanirbhar Bharat, although inspired many people, but what is the way out? What is the roadmap? India is to be made a manufacturing hub. In manufacturing, our position is not so good. Even articles which are having marks of made in India, that means India becomes an assembler. We purchase many components from different countries and assemble here, but assembling something is not making India. India needs to be a manufacturing hub. What should be the model of manufacturing hub? And what is manufacturing? What is entrepreneurship? In our Odisha, one Madhusudan Das was there, who is the maker of modern Odisha. He used to say, cultured hand is industry. What is meant by cultured hand? If you cross a piece of stone, in our Nilgiri there are many hills and mountains. So if you crush a piece of stone, it will give you 500 rupees worth chips. But if you carve an image of Ganesh, Buddha, Kali, Mahatma Gandhi, that will give you 55,000 rupees. This is value addition and this is industry. You will find, you can purchase raw mangoes in our rural areas at 5 rupees a kg, but the pickle costs 250 rupees a kg. Tomato is available 2 rupees a kg during the time of production in villages, but tomato sauce is 300 rupees a kg. Potato is available 5 rupees a kg in villages, but potato chips is 500 rupees a kg. Our rural people can be trained, can be given orientation, they can be financially supported, they can be given marketing support so that they can earn more. Our march should be from unemployment to entrepreneurship, to create unprecedented employment throughout the nation. Our march should be from dirty farms to industries, and our march should be from import intensive economy to export oriented country. And how this is possible? The business class needs a very beautiful thriving market, and the educated youth, unemployed ones, they need a decent livelihood. The rural poor wants 2 morsels of food a day, but they should have a greater ambition. They should have a right to comfortable life that they cannot dream of. The artificial resources, the natural resources should be processed, and this is entrepreneurship by human resources. they should be instrumental in value addition. So how to get it done? This is a big question before us. Only government has declared many lucrative packages. Only declaration of packages and policy decisions cannot change the scenario. Although it will help us a lot, because there are banks, there are other obstacles also. We want that every household should be an entrepreneurship, and each one should be an entrepreneur. I remember Swami Vivekananda said, India lives in cottages. Mahatma Gandhi also said that. Mahatma Gandhi said, not mass production, but production by masses should be our intention, so that it will be a solution to our economic problems. If we have huge production and the purchasing power of the people does not increase, then it has no meaning at all. So Make in India means production in the India through many hands. Only big industries will not solve our problems. So cottage industry is a better solution. And Make in India, which if realized, this dream if realized, it will lift India to the top of the manufacturing capabilities of the whole world. Startup India proves to be a boon to our budding entrepreneurs. We know that. And these initiatives are a well-known envisioned road map to a manufacturing hub. And currently, there is a very favorable, a conducive ecosystem in the world over, because due to this trade war of China and USA, we are having a better and advantageous position. Many people who are winding up their businesses from China are interested to start here, because we have a low-cost labor force, workforce, and we have a democratic setup government, and we are having good business relationship with many European and US countries and with Gulf countries also. In the last 5 years, we have developed that. And India was a golden sparrow in the past. And we should dream at making India and recreating a new era like that. Here is the role of human resources. Unless we furnish this human resource, the dream may not be materialized. Because there may be ample opportunity throughout the land. But human resource is the most important factor in a process of development. Your science, technology, your electronics gadgets have only 10% role. 90% depends upon the authenticity of human element. You cannot change a dishonest man into an honest one by science and technology only. Here comes the role of art of living and organizations like that. And that's why it is important to furnish this human material, this human energy. विमान को हम विज्ञान के द्वारा ईमानदार तो नहीं बना सकते हैं, देशद्रोही को देशभक्त भी नहीं बना सकते, भ्रष्टाचारी को सदाचारी भी नहीं बना सकते. And our rich businessman, business houses want good income, want an internationally exposed market, a thriving market. But that will not also solve the entire problem of ours. India is a land of contradiction, serious contradictions. It is we are having coexistence of illiterates and highly scientific educated people. We are having a coexistence of poverty and prosperity at the same time. We are having coexistence of undernourishment and overnourishment. We are having the coexistence of immorality and morality. We are having the coexistence of caste-ridden discrimination and the doctrine of spiritual oneness of humanity. India is a land of opportunity also. We are having the vastness of fertile lands. We are having the plenty of water resources, plenty of mineral resources, plenty of forest resources, and plenty of human resources, especially the youth resources. We are the youngest nation of the earth. There are many nations in the earth which do not have sufficient water. There are many nations in the earth which do not have a mountain. Many nations of the earth which do not have a river. Many nations of the earth who cannot see ocean. Many nations of the earth who do not have minerals. Many nations on the earth who do not have ice. Many nations of the earth who cannot see deserts. But here we have everything. Whatever is worth having, God and nature has been kind enough to give us everything. But still we are a poor nation. Poor nation of a rich country. That is the whole tragedy. We did not have explored all these possibilities. This is a divine land. Transforming India is of utmost necessity, but transforming India is possible only when Indians are transformed. Without it, it is not possible. And if I want to transform India, I must transform myself first. The mission is Atmanirbhar Bharat. For that, each village, each Indian should be self-reliant, without which it is not possible. This cannot be possible by only government. Private players should come forward, and Art of Living is one of the most brilliant private player in this field. Our youth should come out to bridge the gap with courage and conviction. They should have a big dream. I remember our ex-president Abdul Kalam told, small dream is a big crime. Small dream is a crime. You should have big dreams. Rebuilding the nation and Atmanirbhar Bharat should be our dream. So only dream cannot change the situation. We should have the courage and confidence to work to fulfill that dream, to materialize that dream. And this is expected from our youth. Our youth are all talented. Many of them create wealth using their talents for foreign countries. Now they should be invited. And they should be invited to create wealth in India. We should have a different thinking. Youth should have the courage to jump into uncertainty, to jump into fire, to create history. That should be the spirit of the youth. जो सागर से टकराता है उसको चट्टान कहते हैं, जो चट्टान से टकराता है उसको तूफान कहते हैं, और जो तूफान से टकराता है उसको जवान कहते हैं. ऐसा नवयुवकों की आवश्यकता है. Swami Vivekananda was once told by somebody else who told that, Swamiji, you are so powerful spiritually, why can't you get Mother India free? He told that, yes, I can get freedom for Mother India tomorrow, but where are the men who can keep up this freedom? Men, these are wanted, rest will take care of itself. But strong, vigorous, believing young man and sincere to the backbone, 100 such, and the world becomes revolutionized. Now, Sri Sri University is creating thousands of such young men, full of conviction, courage, confidence, faith, optimism. They will create a new history. And I remember Netaji Subhas who told that, let us create history. We don't have any time to write it, let others write it. So this is the time to create history, to recreate history. A glorious India is to be achieved. So this spirit of entrepreneurship is one of this big dream. How to do it? We should be part of this nation making program. Simply by becoming a rich industrialist is not enough. We should be part of this nation making program. How to feed our poor, how to give them sufficient nourishment, how to give them proper education, because without education they cannot do anything, we cannot do anything. The new education policy is a big boon on this line. It is much emphasis on vocational education, to think out of the box. That is the expectation from our youth, to create history, to have the preparedness to take risk also. Many people do not take many new things for fear of risk. That is a very big weakness, because if people would not have risked themselves, then the top of the Himalayas could not be discovered, then our Meerus could not have been discovered, then moon could not have been discovered. So we should have to prepare ourselves for taking risk, to stand on one's own feet. We want that education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, and the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet, told by Swami Vivekananda. So that dream, after that dream we should have the vision. We should have the vision, we should have the preparation, we should have the mission, and with this mission we can also have the action also. Mission without action is confusion, and action without mission is illusion. Mission with action is perfection, and if you try for perfection, you may not reach perfection, but you will achieve excellence. And excellence of our products will also attract more global markets. Knowledge to generate wealth is highly essential. For that, confidence is also more essential. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, so Sri Bhagavan Sri Krishna told in the Bhagavad Gita, Uddharedat manatmanam atmanam avashadayat ratmaiva hyatmano bandhu atmaiva ripura atmana. Every time our youth will cry because loans are not available, because we cannot do many things, we need 2 crore rupees, small beginning is impossible for us. So that is the whole tragedy. We should have confidence that we can start a small beginning and we can have a gigantic growth. Opportunities should be available for them, and if not, but youth can create opportunities. There is enough opportunity in every field. Agriculture, many times people think that agriculture does not require any skill. but agriculture is also a matter of skill. Skilled agriculturalists will earn more. We can have our entrepreneurship in agriculture also, in skilled agriculture, in farm mechanism, in preserving our products, food processing, dairy, poultry, goatery, milk producing, milk processing. In Panchagavya industry, we have enough opportunity. We can start a Gramodyoga. We can create enough employment opportunity for millions and millions of people. This time our government declared 4,000 crores for herbal park. With herbal park, we can develop our pharma industry, our Ayurvedic pharmacies, product processing plants, our fishery and fish processing has enough capacity. It has got a beautiful export market also. And our charkha and solar charkha, these are the two items through which we can create enough employment opportunity for our rural poor, especially to the women. And we have an MOU. And our textile ministry and MSME will create 10 lakh employment opportunity for our rural women within these 5 years. And in this field, Sri Sri University can provide entrepreneurs, organizers, so that they can create these clusters in which 1,000, 2,000 women can be taken up and they can be provided a decent livelihood. Tourism is another sector. Stone carving is also another sector. Stone carving of India is appreciated world over. Silver and gold filigree also is a very beautiful factor which can have a beautiful global market. Traditional industries can be developed with mechanism also, with mechanization, and children park, yoga and wellness center, life incubation center. If a private party applies, our department will give them 50,000 rupees, and if a government institution applies, 1 crore rupees will be given. They can also earn fees. They can also fix up their fees for these things: farm mechanization, low cost housing, smart villages, green villages, clean villages, digital villages, and this can be our field of interest. Only beekeeping, only agriculture, agro processing is not enough for rural economy. We should have IT also, electronic gadgets, revolution in cell phones, TVs, computers, electronic watches, all this. We have lost the industrial revolution because we are under foreign subjugation, but this time we cannot leave this opportunity of electronic revolution. Artificial intelligence से लेकर के robot तक may be part of our rural economy. Handicrafts, handlooms, fashionable articles, toys, everything else has a serious global demand, and we cannot supply. Acquisition of skills is very, very important. 15%, around 15% is skilled laborers are available in India. We can raise it. That is the question. Through DDU, GKY and Skill India, government is imparting trainings, but it is not enough. Private players should come to that, and I am happy that this sort of skill training is given by Sri Sri University, and we have to skill 100% of our laborers, because these poor people cannot earn a good livelihood because they do not know the knowledge how to produce more wealth. That is the whole tragedy. Eagerness to be skilled among the youth is quite essential, because unless I myself motivate myself, no God can motivate me. Self-confidence, faith is self-trust is the secret of success. Unless we have that confidence, we cannot do that. And here is the relevance of Sri Sri University. This sort of confidence can be built, and this cannot be built by science only. This can be built by inner science, by spiritual science only. Knowledge to preserve wealth is not known to many of our people. So because of their bad habits, their addiction to drinking and drugs, although they earn, some of them are earning good sum, but they spoil everything, and at last they cannot repay the loans of microfinance organizations and other institutions, and they commit suicide. That is the whole tragedy. So they should be trained how to properly use their earnings, how to preserve them in Grameen banks and other financial institutions. They should have proper knowledge to health and hygiene. Today malnourishment is not due to poverty only. Poverty is one of the major factors, but due to absence of knowledge, malnutrition is also rampant in our country. So we should have the courage, we should have the ability to appreciate the knowledge of health and hygiene. Knowledge leads to a moral life. We should have a moral life. Without a moral life, we cannot do anything. And what is the basis of a moral life, an ethical life? Ethics is first and ethics is last. There are many rich people who have robbed the nation and are staying in foreign countries as thieves, as dacoits. Police is running after them. Some are facing trials. Why this? I.S. Tapper has looted a nation and was inside the jail. Why this? Many parliamentarians asking as brokers to industrial houses also lost their seat. Why? Because they were not fulfilled. Their success, their achievement is not enough. So what is the success? Albert Einstein was saying that success is not how much you earn, success is how much you give. Give to the society. So here is the relevance of art of living, and art of living can infuse the spirit of giving among them. Art of living should teach them art of giving to the society. Our life is meaningless unless we give to the society, unless we are a boon to the society. I remember the great personality of Guruji Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, who has given us the ideal, the motto: a body free from diseases, a mind free from stress, an intelligence free from prejudices, a society free from violence and exploitation, an atmosphere free from pollution. This should be our motto, and our youth should come up to take up the challenge and to create such a society free from violence, free from pollution, free from exploitation, free from prejudices, and free from diseases, free from stress and strain. And such a society can be built by good humans, and such humans can be prepared by institution like Sri Sri University. But everybody cannot have an opportunity to go such institutions. But we should develop an urge, an interest, a madness among us to be good and to do good. And this madness is wanted. This consciousness of citizenship. We have not yet been citizens. We should develop this responsibility. We are having enough number of rich people, intelligent people, powerful people, but we lack in responsible people. Responsibility is ability to respond. Ability to respond means we should be able to respond to the changing situation, and our youth should take up the challenge and rebuild a new India where there will be no starvation, no fighting in between. There should be no poverty. There should be no selfishness. We should come out of the box, and we should have a new vibrant India, and we should make Mother India seated in a throne more rejuvenated than she ever was. With this I conclude.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your speech. So, may I request our VC sir, Dr. Professor Ajay Kumar Singh, to please address the gathering.
Jai Gurudev, Namaste.
Jai Gurudev, Namaste.
Good evening to all of you. My pranams to Honorable Minister Shri Pratap Chand Sarangi ji,
Pranam.
Honorable Minister for Animal Husbandry, Dairying and Fishery, and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises for such an enlightening address. It is so, deep-rooted in the personality development aspect that you have mentioned, dream, vision, mission, action, excellence, citizenship, responsibility, and so on and so forth. So many things, the words of wisdom have flown, and it must have gone inside all our participants, because they are responsible for the future of India. The future of India is in your hands. So thank you very much, Honorable Chief Guest, sir, for putting the seeds of holistic development of personality and the society at large, the world of peace, harmony, and the character building required for that. And thank you very much for acknowledging the efforts of Sri Sri University in that direction and art of living at a massive scale around the world to develop the core strength of personality that is required, the character of the individuals that is required to be developed. It is easy to earn livelihood, but not that easy to be of a strong character. And you have highlighted that particular aspect today, which is the most important aspect in the life of any individual actually. So we are indebted to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and enlightening all of us for marching ahead And it's a great reinforcement that people like you sitting at the center have so much of concern for all of us here and all the participants, those who are the winners. My heartiest congratulations to you. And as President Madam said, that those who have not won, it's a learning lesson for them. Don't lose heart. Like